Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the All Things Leeds podcast with myself, Ed McIntyre. And joining me in the studio, as always, it is of course Leeds United fan and good friend Charles Foster. How are you, Charles?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, it's nice. Nice to be here. Sorry, just get my charger out of my back pocket.
And we are also joined by a good friend, and it's third time on the podcast. It is Chris Chivers. How are you, Chris?
I'm not too bad. How are you, Ed?
I'm not bad at all. I can barely hear anyone because these headphones are broken. So I'm fiddling about with the cable. But good to have you on again, Chris. Good to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
And you're wearing a very colourful kit.
Like normal.
A Thailand kit.
Obviously, the ladyboy's got to play.
Just in case you forget your name, you've got the badge there.
Obviously.
It's a nice kit, to be fair. But plenty of stuff to go through in this episode. We'll go over Leeds United's summer transfer window business, discussing all the ins and outs. There's been plenty. We'll also address a few rumours and transfer rumours, as well as other bits of news. We'll look at new kits as well for our centenary season, as well as discuss Leeds United's friendly on Wednesday night that saw them beat York City away at Bootham Crescent, as well as look ahead to the other friendlies coming up. This is the All Things Leeds podcast. So we're back in the studio. It feels right. Feels good. Haven't published a podcast in a while. Me and Charles did record one last week, but it went out of date about 2 hours after we had recorded it. But it's all gone quiet now on the Leeds United front.
That's the nature of the Leeds transfer window, isn't it? There's always going to be something that's going to go off the following day after you record something, meaning everything you said is pointless.
But it's all gone quiet now. I mean, unfortunately, I'd say, because I quite liked it last week, seeing all these players coming in. But
I hate the rumours. To be fair, I'm not a big fan of the transfer window anyway, and the whole kind of like sagas that are going on with all our players, and how toxic social media is becoming.
It is awful.
At the prospect of losing our best players, it
is very toxic.
I'm not enjoying it.
And especially without Phil Hay, we don't have the go-to guy to get all of the true facts. There's all these in the know accounts.
Yeah. They are very annoying. Most because most of them know absolutely nothing. most of them just make stuff up and then put a bunch of like eyes or pen emojis to make you believe them. When in reality, they know about as much as you do.
Yeah.
But that's why I was glad to get the first pre-season friendly done, because now we can actually talk about some football rather than some random rumour. Yeah,
definitely. But yeah, it's a pretty toxic place right now on Leeds United social media. I would try and avoid it because it's filled with just rubbish. But let's start then with the transfer business that Leeds United have done so far. Starting with the ins. We'll just go over these briefly. So the first few were Ben White, season-long loan from Brighton, 21-year-old defender. He can play centre-back or right-back. He's had loan spells at Newport and last season at Peterborough. Charles, you know much about Ben White?
I didn't know much before he'd signed. He seems to be kind of a classic Bielsa type centre-half, very comfortable on the ball. His main kind of strengths appear to be in interceptions and finding the right passes, as opposed to kind of more traditional big hard tackling centre-half. He didn't appear to be that type of player. And it looks like he's going to be more involved than we thought it would be, given the news we'll go on to in a bit.
Chris, what do you make of the signing of Ben White?
With the other news that's been coming out, I think Ben White was a good addition because we was lacking defenders last season. And
we've lacked defenders for quite a few years, to be honest.
We still lack defenders.
We still do. We still do now.
But it's nice that it looks like we're focusing on trying to get some defenders in, which is nice. It's nice to see. Makes a change.
Do you think he'll be starting, or do you think, because Pontus Jansson has left, we'll get onto that more later on, but will we replace him, or do you think Ben White will be the man to start?
I'm getting the inkling they're going to sign somebody else for centre-half. I'm not sure whether that will affect whether or not Ben White starts. We might just sign like another backup, but I think we'll sign another central defender.
I reckon we'll sign at least one or two.
Yeah,
I'm hoping someone a little bit high prestige.
Everyone's going on about Gary Cahill, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, but we definitely do need a centre-back. We only have 3 recognised centre-backs at the moment at the club, which is Ben White, Liam Cooper and Pascal Skruik, who hasn't even played in the first team yet. So, it's pretty interesting. We definitely do need a centre-back. I think it would be criminal not to sign another. But Ben White looks good on the ball. I think he'll be decent. And if he I think he would be the perfect signing if he wasn't going to start, because he'd probably have come to Leeds and knows, all right, I'm probably going to struggle to be starting every single game.
Yeah, definitely. But now with the news that Janssen's gone, I think he'll be looking with his eyes wide open, thinking, hang on, here's my chance.
Yeah, I think he'd be stupid if he didn't see this as a massive opportunity. I mean, he'll be aware the club will try to replace Janssen, but he's basically got pre-season games to say, all right, I should be the guy into the starting 11 with Liam Cooper, and here's why.
Yeah.
He didn't play yesterday.
No.
But he might play.
He'll
tonight.
probably play at Geisley.
Yeah. Him and Click and Helder will probably play tonight.
Yeah, and
Phillips as well.
Yeah. Yep, Calvin Phillips.
He better play tonight, otherwise there'll be an absolute nightmare online.
Yeah, definitely. Jack Harrison as well, season-long loan from Manchester City with the option to buy. Of course, 22-year-old winger. We know him from last season, where he made 41 appearances, 39 in the league, scored 4 goals and got 3 assists. Chris, you Jack Harrison fan? Do you think this is a good signing?
I honestly don't mind him. He played a key part. I know he didn't do loads and loads and loads, but when we needed him to score or needed him to do something special, he was the kind of guy who had that moment of magic that could do it last season. You cast your mind back to the first leg against Derby in the playoffs. That great ball to Kemal. It was just stunning. I mean, if someone like that, if he can show that talent consistently this season, I don't see any reason we shouldn't buy him at the end of the season. Yeah, definitely. Charles, Jack Harrison last season did improve as he went on, didn't he?
Scored that winning goal against Wednesday at home.
Yeah.
Got that goal against Derby. And a couple of other goals that's slipping my mind right now. But yeah, he performed well towards the end of last season. And as we'll get on to, he appears to be coming back strong. Physically fit.
I mean, he's been working hard in pre-season over the summer. I saw on social media, following him on Instagram, and all the other players were out on holiday. Jack Harrison, he's away on holiday, but he's training hard still, and he's worked very hard, and it'll be good to see how he progresses with another season under Bielsa. And I think a loan signing as well, probably best. I don't think I would have been able to manage if Leeds had signed him permanently at this stage.
Well, yeah, because I don't know if he's up to the calibre of the Premiership, and if we're gonna get promoted, then we might need a slightly better calibre of winger than Jack is. That's no offence to him, because there's a huge amount of players in our team that we'll probably need to replace. We'll probably be like Villa. They've replaced all their players now.
They're doing bits in the transfer window at the moment.
They spent like 70 million.
Yeah.
Which hopefully means they don't have enough money for Calvin Phillips.
Also, Leeds United on the Monday, April the 8th, they signed Liam McCarron as well from League Two side Carlisle United on a permanent deal. He made 20 appearances last season for Carlisle. He is an 18-year-old winger, and he will join Carlos Carbaran's under-23 side. Again, Leeds United focusing on bringing in players for the under-23s. I've never really heard of him, but I'm sure they'll do well for the under-23s. But those were on the Monday, and then the day after, Leeds United announced early in the morning that 18-year-old winger Jack Clark had made a permanent move to Tottenham Hotspur, of course, Champions League runners-up last season. He signed a 4-year deal there, but he will be on loan next season at Leeds United. And I think that this is a perfect bit of business from Leeds United. What do you think of this, Charles?
Yeah, it's a better deal for us than it is for Spurs, but because they're kind of relying on the fact that he'll play a load of games this upcoming season, which I think Bielsa will probably favour Helder Costa on the right and Harrison on the left. To be honest, I think that's what it'll end up being on the wings.
Yeah.
I don't know if Clark will get that many starts. I know Spurs want him to get starts. They want him to have more minutes. So I don't know how well that's going to go for them. But for us, we've got the cash up front, the add-ons, and we've got an extra option on the wing for a season. So
yeah, and he's a good option as well. Very good option.
So it's decent bit of business from us, but it just kind of depends whether we reinvest the money, because everyone's going on about how allegedly deep we are into FFP. But first of all, I'm not sure that's true anyway, and we've just sold about 15 million quid worth of players, and we're probably going to sell a couple more when we get rid of the likes of Vernita and Sabicki and Saiz and people like that. He probably will leave this window. Yeah, definitely.
Chris, Jack Clark.
I mean, I don't think he'll be starting much next season.
No.
If you look at the people that we have signed, like Helder Costa and Harrison, I think, again, they'll be favoured over him. But, I mean, to say as a backup, he did have his moments before he had his unfortunate moment where he went to hospital. He just wasn't the same after that.
Yeah, definitely. But he had a few good games though. Did Jack Clark over the season? I think he'll be a very good option for us. And we needed a winger. we needed plenty of wingers, and we've got a few in now, which is great, including Jack Clark and of course Jack Harrison. Of course, people who we do know from last season. But Jack Clark, I mean, he probably wasn't going to start at Spurs, so he's probably come back to Leeds to try and get starts in the first team. But he probably won't get that many now with Helder Costa and Jack Harrison there as well. Of course, Pablo Hernandez as well. He played on the wing last season, so it'll be interesting to see how many starts Jack Clark gets. But £9 million up front plus add-ons and then back on loan for the season. I think it is a perfect bit of business from Leeds United.
I could see Hernandez going back into that central role.
Yeah.
I could see it being Harrison, Hernandez, Helder Costa as that three, Roof up front, and then Click and Phillips in the midfield. I could see it being that.
I don't think he's going to change to two defensive midfielders just because of how many goals Click was scoring from a range.
No, I wouldn't say Click as a defensive midfielder, but he had that kind of linking role from the DM to the attacking midfield last season, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he'll still stick at his 4, but I think he will bring Pablo more central with Costa outright.
I think Pablo's better central as well. Right in the middle, he scored plenty of goals down the middle as well. I think he'll be better there. But it'll be interesting to see how many games Jack Clark does start next season. And then on the Thursday, Leeds United announced the signing of 25-year-old Portuguese winger from Premier League side Wolverhampton Wanderers, Helder Costa. He's on a 1-year loan before making the transfer permanent next year, as he agreed a 3-year deal. So it's essentially a 4-year deal that we signed him on. And a great bit of business again from Leeds United. We haven't paid money now, but we've got him for this season and then next season, when hopefully I think we're gambling that we will be in the Premier League and we will have a lot of money. Then we'll sign him next year again. Chris, great business, great bit of business.
Yeah, no, to be fair, it's astounding what we did there, because he's done basically what he wanted to do from the start, and that's what Wolves did, and utilise the agents that he has as friends. And to be fair, Helder was class in the Championship. I mean,
his first season at Wolves in the 16-17 season, of course, season before they did go up, he was on loan, made a ton of appearances in the league, 35 appearances, 10 goals, 8 assists. Overall, he played 37 games, got 11 goals and got 9 assists in his first season, got player of the year as well. And then, of course, season after 17-18, they did get promoted and they got a load of other players, and he kind of went down the pecking order a bit. But that was a fantastic team in the Championship that year, and he still managed to play 36 league games, scored 5 goals and got 6 assists. So he still played plenty of games in that very good Wolves team that just absolutely rinsed for Championship, really just absolutely walked all over everyone. So yeah, he is a fantastic player. Of course, last season Wolves finished 7th in the Premier League, and he played 25 games, scoring 1 goal and got 2 assists. So yeah, Helder Costa, he's got fantastic stats, fantastic for the Championship, and yeah, he's a fantastic signing, Charles.
Yeah. I think if we get him firing, we get his confidence back, and with the amount of chances that we inevitably create, we could do some damage with him on the wing.
Yeah, definitely.
We've struggled with variety and a little bit of quality on the wing at times last season. So
yeah, we had to live with Jack Harrison and Alioska just hammering balls right out of play for throw-ins from crossing from the left, but it's going out for throwing on the right hand side.
That was just frustrating. The thing is with Jack Harrison is if he crosses it across the floor, it always goes to the guy, to whoever he wants it to. But if he tries to lift it in the air, it can literally go anywhere.
Yeah. But Helder Costa, he's very skillful, very fast, very pacey. Of course, 25 years old as well, so still yet to hit his prime, really, those ages, 26, 27, 28. So he's got plenty of years in him, and yeah, it's a fantastic signing. Very exciting player to watch is Helder Costa. And yeah, we've needed a player like that for a while, and how far we've come, eh? A few years ago, we signed Jimmy Kebe and Cameron Stewart. Now we're signing guys like Helder Costa from Wolverhampton Wanderers, who has been brilliant in the Championship, played a handful of times last season in the Premier League, and yeah, fantastic signing overall. And I think that, in January we saw Dan James, who tried to go after Dan James. We pretty much got him, but then Swansea ended up not answering any phone calls. Of course, Dan James is now at Manchester United. But I feel as though since last season we've wanted a winger. We couldn't get Dan James, so Helder Costa was the next guy for around that 15 million price tag that we probably would have paid for Dan James as well, and we finally got him. What do you make of that, Chris?
I think it's decent, to be fair. For a player of his capabilities, 15 mils. We say it's nothing nowadays when it comes to football money, and it's not when you think about it, when some players are going for like 180, 200 mil, but I think it's good business, and I think he'll do bits.
Yeah, and good money as well for a top player, but we had never really, we have seen Leeds United spend that much money over the recent years, but not just on one player. They've never really spent 15, it's going to be upwards of £50 million next year. We've never seen Leeds United spend that much money on just one player, which is unbelievable to see. Where's the money come from, do you think, Charles? Do you think it's come from the Jack Clark deal, or a lot of people thinking QSI involved, which I think is a load of rubbish, to be honest? But yeah, it's interesting to see why we've just spent £15 million on one player and where it's come from.
Well, I think we're only paying 2 or 3 up front for this season, so that'll be the Clark money straight off. And the rest of it, I think, is a gamble that we will be in the Premier League with our TV millions. I'm being honest with you, that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm very sceptical about this whole QSI thing. As I said, you won't know this because we didn't release it, but I was saying it last week. I was saying the QSI thing is
a lot of rubbish.
Yeah, just
a lot of rubbish.
Baseless, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just Clark money and a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if we have to sign him. We have to sign him for around 50 million next year.
We'd be okay with FFP anyway,
Yeah.
even if we didn't go up, because we've sold loads of people. So.
Yeah. It is a big gamble, though. Of course, we have to mention, give a shout out to Digital Wilson, the guy who does for Leeds United Twitter, teasing this signing brilliantly with some Costa coffee cups in Leeds United's Facebook and Instagram stories, as well as a promotional video for delivery. That was brilliant, hyping up the signing of Helder Costa. And Helder Costa still is the latest first-team signing, but Leeds did also sign 2 other players for the youth sides last week. They signed Rafa Majuka. I was listening to the commentary of the York City friendly, and that's how I know how to pronounce his name. I would have been saying Majuka, but Majuka, 20-year-old striker. We signed him after his contract expired at Barcelona. He played heavily for Barcelona B last season, making 33 appearances, scoring 7 goals. Not the greatest of stats, but he looks decent in clips online that I've seen. Chris?
I have nothing to say except that we all know the last person we signed from Barcelona, and we saw where that got us. So
Luciano Becker, fan Nate.
we can only look at
was.
positives from who we have signed, and if he's a youngster under Bielsa, I think he'll go far.
Still breaks my heart that we sold him, to be fair. He was my favourite player.
Hey, Becker?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mine as well.
As a kid, he was my favourite player.
Yeah. Definitely as well. But yeah, Rafa Majuka for the U23s. I'm sure that he'll do well. And then Guillermo Amor, 18-year-old midfielder from Barcelona B as well. He signed a 2-year deal, so he's at the club until 2021, and he will join Mark Jackson's under-18 side. Again, know absolutely nothing about him, but I'm sure he'll do well. But Rafa Majuka, I'll be keeping an eye on him at the U23s. I'm sure that he'll be good. He's got an option to train with the first team as well. So 7 signings made last week. 5 new faces through the door, with 4 for the first team, 2 from the U23s and 1 for the under-18. So great stuff from Leeds United, getting business done early for a change as well, because we're always used to seeing Leeds United do their business late. But onto the outs then, and there has been a lot again. So Jerry Grott, 21-year-old striker winger, he's gone to Eredivisie side Vitesse on loan. Charles?
How many years left are on his deal? Is it 2 years on his deal?
You're not a fan of him?
I just don't think he's suited to the way we play, and I don't think he'd fit Bielsa's system. And I think we're running down his contract on purpose until someone buys him. Yeah. That's my personal opinion. Not to be a hashtag lad, but that's what we're doing.
Chris?
I love the guy. He has so much talent. He just
really?
Yeah, honestly. I know from what we saw, he was shocking, and I agree with you. He was absolutely shocking. But
I mean, he did score a world-class goal against Myanmar.
Yeah.
On Chef Wednesday. He scored against Chef Wednesday as well.
Yeah, his only goal was against Chef Wednesday, but you could see he had that talent. He didn't know what he was doing. He had no.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was doing. Running around daft.
He has the talent. He needed someone to teach him how to use the talent properly. Yeah. And I thought Bielsa would be able to bring it out in him, but if we're sending him out on loan all the time, it's just changing his playing style and things like that. And I don't know. For him, it might be good. He might enjoy it. For me, I think he's a wasted talent, always going out on loan.
I mean, I think he does have something in him, but going out on loan, I think it will do him good, because he will get first team football at Leeds United, and he'll get first team football hopefully at Vitesse. Apo also left, 21-year-old Finnish centre back. Of course, he's gone to fellow Championship side and Yorkshire rivals Barnsley on a 3-year deal, keeping him at Oakwell until 2022. Charles. Very sad to see Apo go, to be honest. I thought he was a very decent centre-back last season when we saw him.
Yeah, I think it's purely because he's kind of further down the pecking order than Pascal Struijk is for a possible call-up to the first team. And you never know, with him being 21, he might have just said, I'd like to be on the bench for more games this season. I'd like to be taking part more. And they might have said to him, well, you're not really in the plans. So I said, right. And Barnsley will come in saying, well, all right, we'll play you every week.
Yeah.
You're not going to turn that offer down, are you? I mean, they're likely to go down at Barnsley, let's be fair.
Yeah.
Or
Chris?
being around the relegation zone.
Yeah. Anyone but Barnsley.
Yeah, Barnsley.
Anyone
but you can't see you honestly care about Barnsley, do you?
There's one team I can't stand, and that is, but actually there's 3 teams: Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, and Barnsley. They're the only teams I want to see fail.
I don't care about Barnsley.
No.
They mean nothing to me.
Sad to see Apo go, though. But Malik Wilkes, he also joined Barnsley on a 4-year deal. 20-year-old striker, of course. And yeah, this is awful to see, really, because he had an unreal season at Doncaster Rovers in League One last season. He made 51 appearances, scoring 15 goals, getting 9 assists. And I'm very unhappy with this. I thought he was a class player. If he was going to go out again, I'd say a loan. But yeah, sad to see him go, Chris.
You know why they've done it, don't you? Because they're fearing over the court case that's going against him.
Yeah.
So out of that, they've kind of put it on, and they're like, oh, damn, we better get rid of this guy just in case someone... Because think about it, if it does go against him and he does spend some time in jail, that contract, that 4-year deal for Barnsley is wasted. And we keep the money, we make the money, and Barnsley have lost everything.
Yeah. Charles?
Yeah, I think we kind of got shot of him for the court case reasons, similar to Chris. But also because he's not going to get in front of Helder Costa, is he? He's not going to get him. He's not likely to get in front of Jack Harrison or Jack Clark. So he's going to be, 4th, 5th choice winger?
Yeah, well, he's a striker.
Sorry, he played on the wing for Donny last season, and so he'll be thinking, "Oh, why don't I just go to Barnsley with my mate Apo, and we'll play every game."
Yeah, very talented player though.
He's very decent. My mate's a Donny fan, so I spoke to him a lot last season about how Wilkes was doing, and he's got a lot of talent. He's quite a mercurial player. He's just a little bit ball greedy sometimes.
Yeah,
but then again, as a forward player, you do tend to be a bit ball greedy.
Yeah, but of course he has gone on a permanent deal. I hope we did get at least £5 million for him.
I think it's between 2 and 3, mate.
Yeah,
I think that's the deal.
Yeah. Speaking of Doncaster Rovers, though, they've just signed Darren Moore as a manager. Very good manager for them. Louis Coyle, he also left, 23-year-old defender, of course. He returned to League One side Fleetwood Town on a 6-month deal, with him returning in January 2020. Again, sad to see him go, but he'll be back in January, which is good, because last season we did get a lot of injuries, especially around that time and in those defensive areas. But Louis Coyle, he's probably just thinking, just let me go. Let me go.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I really don't understand why we keep on sending him out on loan.
I think this is his 3rd loan spell at Fleetwood Town.
Just the 3 things that's certain in life is death, taxes, and Louis Coyle on loan at Fleetwood Town. And he's always on a 6-month loan deal as well. Yeah. Like we're going to turn around in January and just go, you know what, Louis, you're in the first team now. You've had a good couple of seasons playing at Fleetwood. Yeah.
But if we have a few injuries in January and he comes back, I'm sure he'll be used and he'll be a good option for us.
That is always the idea, but every single time, regardless of how many injuries we have, we just go, oh yeah, Fleetwood, you can have him back if you want. I mean, how many years is left of his deal?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but he's probably just thinking, please
Just sell me.
Just sell me. But yeah, Louis Cole, I'm sure he'll do well at Fleetwood. But that's all the not so big outs, if you like. Other players, the likes of NkGhTg and Benitez, as we said, all seem to be on the way out too. So we're clearing up all the deadwood, really, which is good to see. But of course, a big player to leave Leeds United is, of course, 28-year-old Swedish international Pontus Jansson, who has signed for Brentford on a 3-year deal, undisclosed fee says the club, but it is believed to be around £5 million, which is, I mean, it's a bizarre transfer story, isn't it, really, Chris?
I know the reason why he left. Well, I think I know the reason. So
yeah, it's believed to be his attitude problems, but
Yeah,
Pontus
well,
Jansson says that Leeds United needed money. Who knows the full story, to be honest?
I don't think it was financial fair play. From what has been said, which is, I think it could be plausible, he's asked for more time off after the international break, and Bielsa said no, and at that point, Jansson's gone in a little huff.
Yeah.
And at that point, Bielsa said, "We don't like your attitude," and then he said it about 3 weeks ago and asked him to leave.
Yeah. I mean, Phil Hay and Adam Pope and other reports said that Bielsa and staff didn't like his attitude and wanted him gone. Of course, as I said, other reports said that it was money. Leeds United needed money. But if it is attitude problems, if those are true, and, we saw them a lot throughout the years, really. We saw, especially after the second leg defeat against Derby, Pontus Jansson sat by himself next to the advertising hoardings. We've seen it, when we've just lost one game, he usually goes up to the car, but he just throws his shirt or on the floor or whatever. And we have seen it quite a lot, and if that is the case, then we did have to get rid of him quickly, really, before the Australia tour, which is when Leeds United and Bielsa want their business done by. And Brentford, they seem to be the only team to come in for him. We couldn't really afford to wait and hang around for a better offer to come in, even for a Premier League side. So we accepted a deal at Brentford. £5 million is very low, but again, we couldn't really hang around and wait. But surely that says something, though, if Brentford are one of the only teams to come in for him, no Premier League interest. Because if Pontus Jansson really was that good for the Premier League, surely a Premier League team would have come in for him, Chelsea.
I think he's got a bit of a stigma about him now with the whole kind of stories about, because once you get stories about your attitude in the press as a footballer, you kind of get a bit of you're a bit tainted, really. People don't, you're damaged goods. People don't really want you. They'd rather stay clear of you. I saw he briefly got linked with Sheffield United and Villa, and they were both saying, "Oh no, we can probably get players with better attitude for."
Yeah,
less
and
money.
Younger players as well, because he is 28 years old. He's not got many years left.
Yeah, but as a centre-half, your prime's kind of 27, 28, 29, isn't it, really? But, yeah, it's a bit... It is low. It's a low fee. But if we replace him properly, then no one's going to really blink, Ellie. No one's really going to care. If we sign something decent to replace him, nobody will care. Yeah,
but I mean, definitely, it's awful news to hear. He's a top player that, he will be missed. Cult hero at Ellen Road, really, since he joined from Torino on loan in August in 2016 before he made his move permanent in 2017. Across his 3 years at the club, he made 120 appearances and scored 9 goals. And, he brought the fans and the club closer, really, and when he signed, he was the best defender we had in years, really, and he definitely will be missed. But as Charles said, I don't think he's irreplaceable at all. All we need is someone who's experienced, strong, tall, and good in the air. And with defenders, that is an easy person to get. But also to pass well as well. Although it is fun to see a defender Cruyff turn a striker 20 yards from goal, I don't need that. You don't need that, do you, Charles?
He always made me laugh when he did that.
Yeah.
When it came off, but. A lot of the time when he used to do those stupid runs into the centre circle and get tackled, he used to wind me up. And
a big flaw in his game that I noticed, we conceded quite a lot of goals last season, is the ball would bounce on the halfway line. There's midfielders there anyway, but Pontus Jansson would just sprint out position and then try and win the ball. They play an easy ball through because there's a big gap in defence. Then that makes Kikokse come out. Cooper gets all tangled, but it's all stemmed from Pontus Jansson just sprinting out of position. That's a big flaw in his game. So.
I mean, you can't blame that entirely on Pontus Jansson.
No,
kind of Kikokse's Benny Hill routine.
But he's definitely not irreplaceable, though, as Pontus Jansson.
No.
And
nobody's irreplaceable.
Yeah, and a lot of people saying he's the best centre back in the league. I don't think he is. Maybe one of the best last season, but I don't think he was ever the best.
I mean, that Hector at Wednesday is pretty good. Van der Horn at Swansea is pretty good.
Tyrone Mings at Aston Villa, he was incredible.
He's no longer
season.
In the league, though. He's back in the Prem now.
But Pontus Jansson definitely isn't the best centre back in the league, though. Very good, but
he's probably top 5.
Yeah. But it is a hard pill to swallow, though, seeing Pontus Jansson leave. But of course, we have been linked with other centre backs. We've been linked with 33-year-old centre back Gary Cahill, formerly of Chelsea, but he is now a free agent. Thoughts on this, Charles? Would you like Leeds United to sign Gary Cahill? Or?
It's one of them kind of football manager FIFA career mode signings, which I think will go really well. But I just think of him trying to do all the Bielsa running and the
at 33 years old as well.
I kind of feel like we'd break him in training. He's a very experienced player and of high quality, and we could do with that kind of experience and an aerial kind of threat in our defence. Yeah. Whether or not he would be physically up to the task of playing in a Bielsa squad, I don't know. Yeah. And his wages are high, but he is on a free, so we can justify higher wages. And
he definitely is a good player as well, Chris, isn't he? Because a lot of people are saying he's a very poor player, but he's won multiple major trophies at Chelsea, Champions League, Premier League. He played regularly for England across a lot of years. A poor player doesn't do that, does it? Exactly. He's a very good player.
Exactly. If you are a poor player, you wouldn't have so many trophies to your name. You'd be more your Vernon and Anita kind of person who hasn't won much. But I think Cahill, I don't know if he fit Bielsa's style, but as a defender, he is very solid. And I reckon if we get someone like Cahill, we could be looking. Yeah.
I'd prefer someone a bit younger, though, to be honest. We haven't seen Cahill play for quite a few years as well, to be honest. But we definitely do need a replacement. As I said earlier, we only have 3 recognised centre-backs at the club in Cooper, White and Struick. Charles, who would your ideal replacement be for Pontus Jansson if we were going to sign someone?
It's just in an ideal world where money is no object.
Be realistic.
I'd love us to get someone like Callas. He's pretty good, but he's just signed for Bristol City, hasn't he? And Webster, also Bristol City, great player. Yeah. Aidan Flint, someone like that. Someone just enormous. Yeah.
Ayala.
I hate Ayala. I hate him.
He's a good defender, though.
It's the same reason people go on about, why don't we just sign McBurney or sign Morpay? I hated him. Whenever they scored at Ellen Road last season, they were just wind-up merchants. Morpay was the worst. I was fuming at him.
Yeah. Chris, who would your ideal replacement be? I mean, Charles, you didn't even give an answer. Which defender?
Oh, Webster, I would say.
Webster.
But he'll cost 20 million, so there's no way we're getting him.
Chris?
Flint.
Flint?
Yeah. Solid defender. Yeah. He does the job.
Same height as Jansen as well. I think it'd be a great replacement. I would love Michael Hector, of course, at Chelsea, but he wasn't loaned in the Championship last season. I think he'll be a good replacement.
We will not get him from Chelsea this season.
No. Frank Lampard's Chelsea. But that's all the ins and outs then that have happened so far, as well as all the rumours. We'll touch on other rumours as we move on. But let's move on to the kit launch, shall we, which happened on Tuesday night, of course. Leeds United releasing the centenary kit, centenary season kit, streamed on Leeds United social channels, which, like always, was an absolute shambles. I think the Twitter one crashed, and Andrea Avzani wonders why 11 Sports didn't do too well. As always with Value TV, streams of events, they don't really go too well. But the kit launch in itself, I mean, it was nothing special. A lot of people saying that a new signing could have been announced like Vernon Nita was a few seasons ago. Nothing like that happened. It was nothing special. It was literally just a chat with Tony DeRigo who got cut off. Poor Tony DeRigo.
Friend of the podcast, Tony DeRigo.
Poor Tony DeRigo getting cut off. But then this awesome video, really promotional video for the kit came on, and then all the outfield players just walked onto the stage wearing the new kit, and then that was it, really. But the new kit, I mean, it's white. It's white, which is a good start. Of course, the usual sponsors' logos, they're in the usual places, which is the colour platinum, Leeds United say, because that represents... but they say platinum because it represents 100 years, even though the badge is golden.
I've got several complaints with this kit. One, the platinum claims. It's not platinum. It's just grey. 2, it looks like Derby's home kit from last season. It looks a lot like it, which is ironic given the whole situation there. 3, they're trying to replace gold with yellow on all the Leeds kits the last couple of years, and that winds me up because it makes us look like a BTEC Swansea. Not a fan of that. 4, this is a centenary kit, and we didn't hack back to any previous kit we've had over the last 100 years.
I mean, I don't think we would have gone with an old kit, but I mean, I think it would have been nice to have all of our 3 colours, white, blue and yellow, on the kit instead of platinum, but they do say it represents 100 years, even though the badge is gold for some reason. Why not just make make either the kit gold or the badge platinum colour.
Why can't we just play it in the classic, kind of 70s kit for a season? The just LUFC.
Yeah.
Or even the smiley. I'd love us playing the smiley badge for a season. That'd be awesome.
I don't think we'll ever go back to an old kit, but I think it looks okay. It's very hard to really do much with a white kit.
It's a safe option, isn't it?
Yeah.
They always go for the safe option with a home kit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It came out at 6 p.m. I think it was, and I got my friend to sit in the queue for an hour just so I could get it for when I finish work at 7.
So have you already got the home kit?
I've already got it, and if you look, the thing is, what I like about it, you don't notice it on the photos, but on the back, kind of like woven into the back, it says Leeds United 2019, and I know you can't see it on the pictures, but it is kind of woven into the back. It's a lovely touch, and it's only on the back. You don't see it on the front.
Nice.
Class. But
nice.
It is a nice little touch. I do like the kit, personally.
So you've got the outfield players kit. Personally, I think I'll be buying the goalkeeper kit. I think that looks absolutely incredible. Blue and yellow.
Why don't they release all the kits at the same time? Why is the away kit and the third kit? Why did they do it in stages?
Yeah, I don't know.
Makes no sense.
But the goalkeeper kit, I think this looks incredible. Blue and yellow in a really cool kind of blending pattern. I love it. I think I'll definitely be buying that. It looks incredible.
Despite never playing goalkeeper in your life.
Yeah. No, I think it looks fantastic. I mean, we've never really had a good goalkeeper kit really for quite some time. Last year was alright. The year that we had Rob Green, that looked like a child had coloured it in, and Rob Green said that at the kit launch as well. Well, it looks like a child's coloured it in, but it looks alright.
The camo kit was my favourite.
That one from the 90s where it's all like different coloured triangles and that one, that was awesome.
Yeah, but this goalkeeper kit looks fantastic. A lot of people are saying that this should be the away kit, which I think would be a very nice away kit, but that does make me think, what is going to be the colour of our away kit? Because if this is the colour of the goalkeeper kit, what is our away kit going to be?
Black.
I'm looking forward to it being like GFH piss gold. that horrendous kit where they're handing it out for free. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one.
Chris, what do you think the away kit will be?
They've done well with the black kits. I think they'll stick with the black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'll be decent. But I mean, again,
I did quite like the black kit, to be fair. I know it's not our colours, but I did quite like the black kit.
Yeah. But to be fair, though, I mean, it's Argentina. I'd rather have the outfield players wear something that is blue and yellow instead of just a goalkeeper. But I mean, that goalkeeper kit does look very nice. Some people still don't like the badge. I don't mind it. I mean, it's the safest option that they could have gone with without consulting fans, because they did say when they got rid of the badge last year in January 2018, they did say that they will consult fans for the next badge. They haven't. They just went out with this one, but I think it is the safer option.
I think when they said that, they meant the official complete change, not just the centenary badge.
Yeah,
because this is only going to be for one season. Then it's going to go back to the way
definitely.
It was.
But I mean, the shield, I still think they would just need to ditch the shield because it just represents torture for the club going down. And
I quite like it. It's a symbol of where the kind of model of club and type of bad decision you need to avoid. Yeah. It's sort of like a stark reminder of failure. I quite like it.
Yeah, but this season's badge, I don't mind it. A lot of people hate it. I think it's okay. Now, with recent rumours of players who could be leaving Leeds, people were keen to point out which players weren't involved in the kit launch, because that always means that people are going to be leaving Leeds and staying at Leeds United, whoever's at the kit launch. I mean, remember a few years ago, Chris Wood was the front of the black away kit, and he ended up leaving. But Kemar Roof, he's been linked with a move away, specifically to Glasgow Rangers. I don't think that will happen, but he's been linked there recently because his contract is expiring next year. He wants more money at Leeds United. We're not really prepared to give him it, but I believe that he is in contract negotiations. But Roof, he was in the kit launch video. That doesn't mean that he's staying or leaving. No, I just take it as Kemar Roof was just chosen to be in the video. But I mean, I'm confident that Kemar Roof's going to stay. You, Charles?
Yeah, I think he's going to stay. I mean, I think he sees this as his opportunity to fire Leeds into the Prem, at which point he can demand much bigger wages.
Yeah, I think it's just agent talk, really, all this linking him to Rangers. I think it is just the agent trying to point something out, say, he could believe in, give us more money, because he definitely does want more money. Chris, what do you make of
I don't think Roof will leave. I think if there's two players who are more loyal to the club than what Pontus Jansson seemed to be, it'd be Kemar Roof and Calvin Phillips. Those two boys absolutely love the club.
Don't forget, we did pluck him out of League Two.
Yeah, from Oxford United.
Yeah,
we did give him the name that he has, really. But yeah, I'm confident that he'll stay. I don't think he will leave. But Leeds United, they do need to give him money that he's demanding, because he is a fantastic striker. You know, a highest goal scorer for the past 2 seasons. Why would you not make him your highest earner?
Purely because they've got Casilla on high wages, Bamford on high wages.
Yeah, but Bamford, I mean, Kemaru's better than Bamford.
I agree. I agree, but
it's not about ability though. Your wage doesn't change based on your form.
Yeah.
They'll sign Bamford on a heavy wage because he's Chelsea youth.
Yeah.
And what was I saying? Oh yeah, Casilla, because Casilla's from Real Madrid, he'll be on massive wages.
Yeah.
So the idea that someone like Roof, who he played really well last season, scored a load of goals, but he's still on his 2016 Massimo Cellino contract, where he's probably earning like 20p in a Freddo a week. Then the club aren't going to turn around and go, "Oh yeah, would you like lots more money?"
Yeah. No, they're not going to do that. No.
You'd be like, "No, your contract's there. Play it out."
Yeah, but I mean, surely though, if we do end up selling him, surely that is the best, to sell him now if he won't sign a new contract, so that he doesn't leave for free next year. The thing that Arsenal fans know very well, players leaving for free at the end of contracts. But
you guarantee if we go up, he'll be straight onto his agent. "Oh yeah, I want to sign a new deal at Leeds," and we'll get him another like 3 or 4 year deal. You watch.
Think? Yeah. But I mean, I'd rather sell him for money now if he's not going to sign a new contract than let him leave for free next year. But that's just my opinion.
We need the strikers.
Yeah. But Kemaru, I'm confident that he will stay. But of course, the other big story, the main story, is regarding 23-year-old midfielder Calvin Phillips. Phillips, he did come out and say a while ago that he does want to stay at Leeds United, but he is continuously being linked with a move away from Leeds United, mainly to Premier League side Aston Villa, who, as we said, are doing fantastic in the transfer window so far, linking him with a move to there for around £30 million. Now, I think we can all agree it is vital that we do keep Calvin Phillips. Improved a lot last season, making that holding midfield role his. He made 46 appearances last season, 44 in the league. He scored 1 goal, got 3 assists. Of course, a Leeds lad as well. We do need him no matter what, to be honest. Don't we? I think we can all agree on that. Yeah. But he wasn't in the promotional video for the new kit, and he wasn't at the event itself. And surely a Leeds lad like Calvin Phillips, surely he would be ideal to have as the main man for promoting the new kit. Should we be concerned, do you think, Charles?
He's been doing like a lot of volunteering stuff for the club, though. The club have been posting him all over the place at the moment. That last few weeks he's been doing like he's done like at least 4 like school visits and hospital visits and stuff like that, representing the club. I can't see us letting him leave because the fan base will just completely turn against Mazzani. I think Bielsa will want him to stay. I can't really think of another player we could get who would suit the system as well as he does.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, for 30 million, we could probably give it a decent go. If we were to spend it, which I doubt we would. We'd probably just slap it in the old FFP bank account. Yeah. But I don't think we'll sell him. I'd be surprised if Villa managed to prize him away.
I mean, you think Leeds United Twitter is toxic now. Wait if Calvin Phillips left, it would be even worse. But we definitely do need to keep Calvin Phillips. He is key to the team. But on the other hand, though, if he was at the kit launch event, then everyone probably would have gone up and asked him, "Oh, are you staying at Leeds? It would have been a massive riot, really, with everyone wanting to go up to him and ask him. But I mean, it wasn't even in promotional video, which I think is quite concerning. Chris, are you worried that he could leave?
No, I'm not, to be honest with you. Villa have spent 70 mil, like we said. To be fair, what have they got to show for it? They've got Mings, they've got a few...
Can't believe they spent 25 million on Tyrone Mings is mental.
And we only got £5 million Pontus Janssen.
I would say that at the moment, their financial fair play situation is going to start coming in, crawling in. And Fulham struggled last season when they spent 100-odd mil. I'm hoping Villa are going to struggle even though they've spent 70 mil. And I think they won't buy Calvin Phillips simply because we're asking for 30 mil. But Spurs, on the other hand, they're another team that are being linked with him now.
Yeah.
That's worrying me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Calvin Phillips will leave. They're in contract negotiations. A lot of them, the no accounts are saying, he's turned down a new contract. I don't believe anything like that unless Phil Hay or Adam Pope says it, and then I don't believe it. Adam Pope's been saying that he believes Calvin Phillips will go. I think he's just basing his opinion off of recent years when big money's come. We've accepted it, but Calvin Phillips, I'm hopeful that he will stay. I hope that he does stay, but it'll be interesting to see. But they're in contract negotiations right now, I believe, so they just need space, and we just need to wait and see, really. It is only July the 11th, so we do need to see July the 11th at the time we're recording this. But moving on to Friendlies then, and Leeds United were in action on Wednesday night against York City, away at Bootham Crescent, and they didn't play in a new kit, which I thought was pretty strange. Surely you'd be playing a new kit to try and promote it, but we didn't. Which tells me that against Guiseley away, we'd probably play in the away kit from last season, because of course Guiseley's playing white, and we've only so far released the home kit for next season. But Leeds United, of course, went out 5-0 winners thanks to Jack Harrison with 2 goals, Kamal Roof with 1 goal, and Pablo Hernandez with another goal in the first half. Then Adam Forshaw made it 5-0 in the second half. Not too long into the second half even, and all the first teamers were substituted. But very impressive from Leeds United, I thought, against York City. Chris, very, I thought we looked very good. We were passing well. We looked very fit too as well. Positive signs.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that's the double training that Bielsa does. We looked very, very confident and very, very fit last season. At
the start of last season,
yeah,
anyway.
Definitely. I think if things keep on going as they are, that team looked like they're ready for the new season, but only time will tell. Forshaw, I'm still not very confident about, even though he scored.
Yeah, he did give the ball away quite a lot of times against York City.
He always gives the ball away.
Bring Click back.
It's just frustrating.
Bring Click back.
I think we'll be playing against Guiseley tonight, Thursday
I'm
night.
honestly surprised you haven't had any approaches from Mateus Click.
I mean, he is around 28, 29 years old. So.
No,
but 10 goals and 10 assists.
You've got this all wrong, guys. He's loyal. He's got a new tattoo.
Have you seen his new tattoo? Leeds Rose. I don't know what it means.
I'm trying to figure out what the date went.
It's when he signed for us, isn't it? I thought that, but then look.
It says 6th of November. You wouldn't sign in November, would you?
Maybe when his child was born, maybe. And it's in Leeds, and he wants to remember where it was and when it was. I'm not totally sure, but he's got a Yorkshire Rose on his skin now, so that's very good. But positive signs from the York City game. A strong side started. Starting lineups was Kiko Kasew Go, Stuart Dallas, Gaetano Paradi, Liam Cooper, Barry Douglas, Adam Forshaw, Jack Harrison, Pablo Hernandez, Kamaru, Patrick Bamford. But then Alfie McCalmont. Charles, is this a sign that Alfie McCalmont's probably the player who's going to be making a big push for the first team this season?
He's kind of like Calvin Phillips is almost like understudy, isn't he?
Yeah.
They play the same kind of screening role. He was very comfortable, got a good range of passing from what I saw, and it was kind of him and Struik in the game who, for the youth players for me, that kind of stood out. They looked properly good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll be. I imagine he'll be on the bench a fair bit.
Yeah.
In the same way that Shackleton's kind of like Klitsch is almost understudy they play kind of similar way in a similar position. I think McCalmont is Phillips's. He does the screening role.
Yeah, I would guess that Shackleton will play against Guiseley tonight. Start with the other first teamers. But after we went 5-0 up, all 10 outfield players were substituted on 62 minutes, and then all the others, Pascal Skruik, Adore, Hosanna, Gotts, Maduka, Edmondson, Timanuskov, McCarran, Jenkins and Casey all came on. I thought Struik, he looked very good. Adore, I'm a big fan of him, as Charles well knows. I'm always banging on about him.
Yeah, he is.
Maduka, good to see him as well. Edmondson still in the mix as well, despite Maduka signing for the under 23s. And they were very impressive. But of course, the under 23s didn't score any goals while they were all playing. It was all the first team, and 4-0 at half time. Of course, went 1-0 up in the first opening couple of minutes. Jack Harrison with the goal. He looked very good. And of course, he scored a fantastic wonder goal, really, just before half time as well. Jack Harrison against York City, Chris. He looked amazing.
If only he played in a sick tier of English football every week, he would be the Lionel Messi of that league.
He's looking like something else, but at the same time, we've got to remember, it was York. It's not. If you can do that against Sheffield Wednesday or Swansea
Well, he did do it against Sheffield Wednesday last season.
Yeah, but if he can do it
That's
this,
actually a really good goal. That.
Yeah, and he scored a similar goal against Millwall as well to what he scored against York City as well.
This one had a bit more power in it than the Millwall one. Millwall one kind of just rolled in the corner.
Yeah, P-roller. But it was a fantastic finish from Jack Harrison, 2 goals for him, and yeah, as I said, he's been training hard. He looks great, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we'll progress next season. Never seen under Bielsa. I think he'll be one to watch out for, really. Of course, Kemar Roof scoring. I think Kemar Roof starting and scoring. I think that's going to put rumours to bed of him with a move away from Leeds United. Pablo Hernandez, he scored a very good goal. Good layoff from Bamford. Pablo Hernandez, nice curl into the bottom right-hand corner. And then Forshaw, of course, making it 5-0 shortly into the second half. And Forshaw, for me, I mean, he's not holding midfielder.
No.
He was playing really well going forward. Had a couple of missed opportunities, missed shots, but then of course scored. He's not a holding midfielder for me. He's more of an attacking midfielder. Charles, what do you think? Adam Forshaw, do you think?
I find him exasperating.
Yeah, I mean,
it frustrates me a lot of the time. He doesn't seem like he can't really do the screening role that well. He gives the ball away quite a lot. He's a little bit like Jordan Henderson in that he is almost allergic to passing forward. He has to pass sideways. If he can't find a fullback, he just goes into panic mode.
Yeah,
he can't just go for a bit of a chip ball forward. Yeah. He never does that.
But he's better further forward, though, isn't he, Adam Forshaw?
I don't see what he provides to the team that can't be provided better by somebody else.
Yeah,
that's what my issue is.
Yeah,
I don't have an issue with him being a squad player, but. Like, he's not better than Click in his position. He's not better than Phillips in his position.
Yeah. I don't think he's a starter, but he's a good squad player to have, is Adam Forshaw, really.
Just stick him on to see out the game. That's what I would use him for.
Yeah. But a very good performance from the Leeds United against York. Who impressed you the most, Chris? For me, it was Jack Harrison. Yeah, Jack Harrison for you.
Yeah, it made that difference.
Yeah, Charles, who impressed you the most?
I thought Pablo was pulling the strings quite well.
Yeah,
I thought he was.
He did give a ball away a few times, sloppy passes, which was pretty surprising to see. But
he did, but he was kind of pulling the strings well. He was. I think he got at least a couple of assists.
Yeah,
and just doing Pablo things, isn't it?
Yeah,
flying around the pitch at the grand old age of 64, 34.
But that's the York City game, 5-0 win for Leeds United there. And if you haven't noticed yet while listening to this podcast, at the time we're recording tonight, Leeds United do play Guiseley away in their second pre-season fixture. Most other first teamers will be playing, like Calvin Phillips, Helder Costa. They're keeping us waiting to finally see Barry Douglas and Helder Costa reunited in one team.
I know.
Which is annoying, but listeners and watchers, they'll already know who played in that Guiseley game and what happened in that game, so we can't really comment on that, but I'm fully expecting that Leeds United will win this one. And just before we do end the episode, of course, a lot of friendlies coming up over the next few weeks. We got Manchester United, Western Sydney Wanderers. But in the last episode, me and Charles did talk heavily on all of the friendlies. Make sure you go listen to that if you want. Or me and Charles' big input on all the friendly matches. But at that time, Leeds United were looking for another friendly to play on Saturday, the 27th of July, which is, of course, a week before the season starts. And Leeds United have announced the friendly for that date. We are playing Serie A side Cagliari away at the Segunda Stadium. Of course, the Massimo Cellino derby, as he used to on Cagliari and Leeds United. But yeah, thoughts on this, Chris? Do you think this is a decent friendly?
I don't understand why we don't have a home game this season.
Yeah, we don't have a home friendly match. We don't have a friendly match at Ellen Road, which is quite disappointing.
Yeah, but I mean, anyone fancy a trip to Italy for a weekend?
Yeah.
If I could afford to go to Italy, mate.
The tickets are quite cheap. It's only like €5 to get in. Yeah. So
I think I'll be giving it a miss.
Do they accept overdrafts and empty promises?
Unfortunately not.
There's your title of the episode there.
Charles, what do you make of this friendly? I mean, it'll be decent.
Yeah. I mean, obviously York and Guiseley aren't really that stiff competition, but playing Scum and playing Cagliari, as you pronounce it, I'm not gonna
Cagliari, whatever.
Yeah, however you pronounce it. It'd be a good test at the Serie A side. That'd be good to put ourselves up against, because a few relegated Premier League teams this year will kind of similar standard coming into the league. So it'd be nice to see
Yeah.
how we do against them.
But,
That's a team of that calibre.
Yeah, but again, no, it is very disappointing not to have a friendly match at Elland Road, because last season that was good against Las Palmas. That was
Yeah,
that was
I
really
enjoyed it.
enjoyable. The season before that, obviously against Oxford United. Yeah, quite sad to not have a friendly match at Elland Road, but never mind. But that does bring us to the end of episode 25 of the All Things Leeds podcast. Thank you very much to Charles, as always, for joining me in the studio.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having me on.
And thank you very much to Chris as well for joining us this morning.
No problem.
And thank you to everyone else as well who listened. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the podcast, then why not subscribe or follow the podcast? Give us a 5-star rating if you are listening on Apple Podcasts. Share it around as well. Help us out. Make sure to follow All Things Leeds on social media. We're Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Search up All Things Leeds 1 on Instagram and Twitter. Search up All Things Leeds on Facebook. Keep up to date with everything that is happening. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well if you have not already. Me and Charles, we will be back soon. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.